was the actual address of the building. 112 was a code for police impersonator. So I
Really?
guess, yeah, so I guess I would be a police impersonator conducting investigations.
That is a hoot. It really
That,
is because I did not realize that.
yes, that is a hoot, right? So, and I'll tell you, I feel so comfortable. I feel like I'm supposed to be here. There's a reason for it, and I'm oftentimes here alone with everything going on, and I sleep here by myself, and I'm comfortable, you know?
Yeah.
And I've made friends with all the spirits. They're happy. It's a really good relationship, I have to say. It sounds bizarre to a lot of people until they come and they're here a lot, you know?
Yes. Well, it does because I didn't anticipate that, right?
Right.
And I've spent several nights there and it's really very cozy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel threatened in the least. And I find that odd because it's extraordinarily haunted.
Well, I think it's all about the respect thing, you know, and I have let them know, and we get a lot of different spirits that come and go here too, not just our resident ones. And, you know, I just let whoever comes know this is a safe place, you know?
They were very not approving one of the locations that we were trying to do the show from, and they got angry. But other than that, you know, we had a discussion because I was pretty angry too. So we kind of had to resolve that. And they
Uh-huh.
were very nice when I left. And they've been
Yeah.
very nice when I've been there since then.
And they also told you where you could broadcast
Yes,
from.
they did.
Mm-hmm.
And, but, you know, it sounds so odd to be having a conversation with someone if if people don't know that we do this all the time. And, you know, when there's a problem with the production, you're like, oh, you're at the jail. That's right. Well, here we do. You know, because we do know that these things happen and they do react. It's so cool. I think
Yes,
it's cool. And, you know, if y'all are listening carefully, the odds are great that you're going to hear EVPs as Shelly is broadcasting with me tonight. It
absolutely.
happens. You know, the first
Yes.
time that I interviewed her a couple of years ago was just astounding. She was almost being talked over at times by the
Yeah.
spirits.
Yes.
Yeah, it was cool. And one of the reasons I was excited to come up there, because just so people listening know, this is quite a drive to get to Shelley in Paulding, and not so bad in Fort Wayne or Indianapolis, but it's a bit of a little bit longer to go on to Paulding. But it is so worth the drive. So worth the drive.
And I just have before events and stuff, I just have a talk with them and I'm like, look, you know, we're going to have this event. This helps me fix your home and you guys are the stars. They're coming to see you. So, you know, how about you help me out?
Well, that's what you did with these people doing their fundraiser this weekend.
Oh yeah, I had a really good talk about just and not just that. I was just talking up to him about, you know, what's been going on with them, asking them how you've been doing. I know I ain't been up here that much this past week, and the moment we turned the box on to talk to them, they called my name out. So I'm like, yeah, I know you probably miss me. So
Well, and I am remiss. I should have said when we began that I'm so sorry for your family's loss of your mom.
well,
And
and I think they knew that too
they
because
did.
I think they did, and they were just so because I talked to them after the burial that night,
Right.
and I didn't talk about my mother, but I think they knew, and
Well,
several of them were talking, just conversating, you know?
I do. And I'm not surprised by that because they have a great deal of concern for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think I shocked them that night or that afternoon when I was like, she bought this so that y'all would have a place over your head. Do you understand what was going to happen? They do understand, and if they didn't, I told them.
Yeah.
And, that they have a roof over their head because of you.
Mm-hmm.
And they really genuinely, I think, care for you. They seem to. Which sounds so odd. We're talking about dead people, but, It
is odd, and it is unbelievable unless you've experienced it. Like, I think if I would talk to somebody like a few years ago that was telling me such interactions, I would probably raise my eyebrow, because it just sounds way out there.
Right.
It does sound way out there, but I just tell people, just come and you will find out. Just come and you'll see.
Well, you will. It's so funny. I have friends that have messaged me wanting to organize something or just, come and hang out up there. And I'm like, absolutely. After the snow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I don't drive in snow. And, this is kind of my deadline. So,
yeah, because we're going to get cold here pretty soon.
Yes, and I don't do cold. So, but I am planning an investigation with some friends up there once the snow risk is over. I'm excited about that because I love coming up there.
And I'll tell you, they are helpful in trying to improve my communications with them too. So they're brilliant sometimes. They really are.
Yeah. I'm never fail to be amazed. But you know what? I purposely have gone a little bit over due to the technical glitches, but we are going to be coming up on a station break here in just a couple of minutes. When we come back, I would like to hear you explain a little bit about the first time they reached out to you. The first time that you knew that you genuinely had a haunted location, and was it a yeehaw moment, or was it a, well, this is cool, but moment? Because, those can go hand in hand, right? And Lori Dorsey is in one of our chat rooms, and she said to tell you, love you guys. So with that,
we love Lori too.
Don't we though?
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, we will be back momentarily, about 3 minutes.
listening to WPHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk radio.
And we're back. You are listening to Fate Magazine Radio. I am Kat Hobson, your host, with my guest, Shelly Burk Robertson. And when we were leaving for our break, Shelly, I had asked you to let us know a little bit about how it felt to actually have, when you realized that you had a haunted place. Did you flip out? Were you excited? How did that feel?
Actually, it was a lot. It was an exciting moment. It was like, haha, because when we came and looked at the building, I got to thinking, since I'd already had a paranormal group and a lot of my team was in Ohio, I thought, well, I do have a home office in Indianapolis, so I thought we would just have office in Ohio.
Right.
And so when we bought the jail, I'm like, everybody's going to have to help me, because it was full of everything, and it needed a lot of work, and it still needs a lot of work, but we've come a long way so far. And I was thinking office space, consultations with people who need help and whatnot, right?
Right.
So I purchased it, took possession, and the very first day, me and Toby come in, and we're looking around, and we're like, oh boy, trying to decide where we're going to start first on the cleanup and starting on the restorations. And there was no electricity on in the building at all at this point. No working water lines. I mean, it was not functioning.
Well, I learned my lesson on the water lines, so yes.
Yes, so we're looking around and we're like, okay, what do we want to tackle first? And we went to the first floor cell block and we were talking about the stuff in there, and then we heard a woman's voice come over the intercom system of the building, and we both look at each other, and he's like, did you have the electricity cut on? I said, no, not yet. You don't see any lights, right? So then we heard what sounded like a female, like high-heeled shoes, like walking across the floor in the hallway. And we're like, looked out there's nobody. And I'm like, wow, okay. But when I really realized, I wasn't convinced it was totally haunted until we went to leave. And a big, loud male voice, it was radiating and loud, echoed through the entire building. We opened the door to leave, and a voice said, get out. And it was huge, and me and Tobe looked at each other, and I started to laugh. I'm like, bingo. And I'm like, I started to chuckle. I wasn't afraid at all, and I turned around, and I said, we're leaving, but I will be back. And that's when I knew for sure the place was haunted. That was the very first day.
That is astounding.
Yes. And I don't know who hollered get out, but when I come back, I used to joke around, and they would call out my name. I've got files and EVPs and videos that they would call out my name all the time through the building, loud. So I was like, I don't know. And nobody ever told me to get out again. And I used to joke, and I used to say, I'm the new sheriff in town, and